that's pretty much how our process works. I typically, and tell me if I'm wrong, Nikki, usually 90 days from the time, we only have, once you sign, we're committed to getting it through our agency in less than 30 days. Otherwise, we have to start signatures over. That's why we wanted to come in person today, to kind of go through this.
And Commissioner Hilton, Attorney Johnson mentioned to me that your name doesn't spell on the signature line, so I think he said you can handle that by just crossing through it, right? So apologize for that, but that's easy enough to solve.
Oh, I see, so they haven't unanswered the why, okay. And then just the very back page, just, for your awareness, and I don't know, can you see the very back page, this one here? Okay. All this does is take all the information that's in writing and put it on a map. I like maps. I think it's preferable. Sometimes it's difficult to read language. So if you look at things like, and I'll start just on the upper right-hand corner, CLV 24159 and 24153. All this does is just identify, that's how we identify the culvert, right? These are just culvert numbers. I'm not sure what system the county uses, but it just is helpful to us when we're referencing the agreement that you have a map to look at. It also includes each of our projects as well too. So everything on here from an inventory standpoint would show what we're turning over from a map perspective. You know, some people like reading the numbers in an agreement, and some people prefer something more visual. I'm a visual person, so I always like to have a map at the end.
Couple of questions.
Sure.
North of 218, I'll just use the number CLV 23990. Okay, it says right here, small structure bridge. That is part of the little creek area. And is that?
That's the one that's got a project. So the one that has the blue dot that says small structure, CV.
Okay.
That one, so that also is in the list. So if you were to go back through the list, they noted the CV025X as part of it.
Okay.
But then they also included that's one that has project funding behind it.
Okay, so that would be.
So it's inventory and a project.
Okay.
Yep.
And that would be later on, like the bridge.
Yeah, so the paving is fiscal year 24, we're hoping to stay on track. We're fiscal year 24 for the bridge, but with the changes, we're waiting to hear back from the consultant that's doing the redesign for it. We're trying to keep that on track. That one might have a little bit of delay just to make sure that we've included everything that the locals have asked for from a design perspective. But again, you know, there's some little fluctuation within fiscal years. There's a chance it might have to be moved a little bit just so we can accommodate, because what we don't want to do is just use the design that NDOT had and then omit what the locals have asked for. So.
I can move that there, I know that was. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And my next question is, did you ever find out about the cross 218, the Hoosier Heartland, that you said that wasn't even on inventory? It's called Samuel Milroy Road right now?
Right, we did talk about that, and there's some confusion because there was a portion that was relinquished to the county previously. It wasn't Samuel Milroy, it was another section.
Right.
And so that one we decided, because we were already proceeding with this agreement, we would keep on this and we would have that discussion once we got through this one. So right now, it belongs, I believe, if I remember correctly, it belongs to the state. But there may be some interest by the county, because that was where there was another county road coming up this way, right? Was it
It's right there where the old bridge.
700 maybe, or no? What is that?
Yeah, it's the gravel road, the bridge we just replaced.
Yeah.
So if you cross 218, you take a right, it's a gravel road that goes north and turns back to the west.
So what had come in from the town had been relinquished. So was that Main? No, not Main Street.
But it used to be old 25.
Right,
Then it
right.
came up to the hill to
So,
25 and
right.
you turn left.
So there was only that last segment there, and there wasn't confirmation, but we agreed to survey once we got through this process and come back and have that discussion.
It's in pretty bad shape.
Okay. Yeah, no, we can continue to talk about it, absolutely.
That's the only questions I've had. And we stop at the top of the hill on out towards Lafayette. That's our, and are you in agreement with Lafayette to finish that all the way out? to the new section
So
On
that
ramp?
was that the Crawfordsville section? Yeah, there's a piece that Crawfordsville had. Yeah. And so I reached out to Bill Smith, in Crawfordsville about that, and he's willing to entertain that as well too. Now, there is some different in the pavement type, I believe, which was part of the concern, so LaPorte took over a little more than what we had, because essentially the districts were taking care of two pavement types in the near, and it only made sense for us to move our PK, which is called our pavement key, so we could make sure that, because there was about a mile and a half in that section that was of concern, that we've now addressed. Our maintenance crews have been out there as well too. Any questions I can answer for you, Commissioner Hatton?
No, I just need to read the whole document,
Okay.
read through it.
Well, they're putting the tunnel under the bridge, which was concerned to Warren that we didn't want to be in the tunnel business. I do understand Delphi has a concern with us allowing that to go on for their trail system, because they'll eventually connect to Prophetstown. I know we talked about maybe Delphi taking over that section of road, taking Delphi out past the park, and you guys maintain that. That's something we have to work on before I'm even considering, because like Scott said, he'd have to have a man on that 8 hours a day if it snows, and we have bad snow. I think we need to have an agreement with the city of Delphi that they will maintain that and take that over.
We're certainly willing to consider that, obviously, we need to get our attorneys working on that.
Is that something we can get done before their timeline? That's something I would like to see.
If we had started on it at the time that the state started, yes, we probably could. I don't know if we can, given the timeline that they're talking about. We can certainly try, but, we don't have any draft agreement or anything of that sort of, so.
Again, the big driver from the timeline perspective is that bridge project and the design changes that would be necessary to that.
Right, and if we don't accept this, you guys would do it all anyway without these, and with the bridge, right? The tunnel?
No,
No, it doesn't, it
No.
goes away.
we'll only do what supports our asset, which would just be a bridge
Right,
replacement period.
that's what I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
project as designed, but not
Right.
including the separated lane and the tunnel. So essentially, that would all have to be, the bridge would have to be redesigned to accommodate those changes.
Right.
Which, the process we haven't undertaken yet, sort of pursuant to this agreement, being signed. So,
And there's also the possibility that the fiscal year 24 pavement projects will be pushed out.
Cause I kinda agree with Mr. Horn, I don't think we need to be in the tunnel business, it feels, I think it's a liability. The way that floods, it just fill up with sticks and everything, and that's something you have to maintain. In the creek.
Driving that area is quite frequently, we're not getting a, golden lane there, I'll tell you that, in the whole process. You drive it, you look along the side of the road, it's just, it's a trash yard. This time of year, it's terrible. And do we want the responsibility of this?
Maintaining the trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's all heavy traffic.
I'll let the mayor come up.
That's why I said maybe we can just limit that area, and then there's other sides, that would be nothing.
No.
Yeah, so I think we had talked, as we were having this initial discussion a few months back, that the city would entertain, I don't know what the term would be.
Interlocal agreement.
An interlocal agreement, but for a shared maintenance or else maintenance of that section from, let's say, Trailhead Park up to the city. Is that something that,
I
is
think
that
that's what we was talking
along the
about,
lines of
and
what you?
leaving that one section where, can't remember his name, right across the creek, he used to have a horse riding, Martin, and leaving that out of the agreement, so he can still do this thing.
I'm not sure what we're referring to there.
Well, just go on, let's see, the north side of the road, where Trail Park is, and stop it right there. Just on that side of the road. Cause you guys have got most of the other side of the road anyway, right? where the sewage plant's going?
We have certainly where the sewage plant is,
You
I
go
mean,
all the way
we're
to
just
the
talking
creek?
about maintaining the road though, right?
Right.
I mean, we're not talking about annexation or anything of that sort at this point, so the interlocal agreement, and correct me if I'm wrong, would really just talk about, the responsibility for maintaining the road section from, Trailhead Park
Back to Delphi?
up to the city corporate limit.
And some
that
area
would be-
too,
Yes, yes.
that was included.
Right, that's on Larry's too, you get
Yeah,
it maintained.
and that would be considered part of that road.
Because to me, it's a great opportunity for the county and the city for that trail. I'm seeing a lot of people starting to walk those trails now.
Absolutely.
And, I'm hearing that Prophet's Town's gonna be connected to Delphi soon.
We're certainly hoping that that would
But,
be the
you know, I'm
long-term
hearing that from
goal.
Lafayette too, so I know one of the guys that works down there part-time, and he says they've been talking about it a lot.
Well, now, there's a section that we'd be taking from Trailhead on to the Tippecanoe County line, right?
Yes.
We'd still be getting that.
Right. It'd probably about maybe a mile.
So on page two, under 1.2, it says transfer road defined. It gives you each section that you're looking for, so we'll give a description and the mileage of that section. So the one you were looking at was,
2 miles. That right, or not? 25 for South Lake, 421 intersection.
get to the better job on projects. Let's put this one here. So the HMA overlay from Tippecanoe County line north to US 421. So that would have been,
There's some others on it.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for here. So this is straight to north. Yep, that's not me. I think it's 2 miles, it's 2 miles. In National Transfer County, that portion of Old State Road 25 commencing from State Road 25 to the southwest leg of US 421 intersection, 2.0 miles. Includes bridge over Deer Creek structure. It's the very first sentence of
Right.
1.2.1. It's a total of 6 miles for all the roadway,
So we
excluding the
still-
bridge.
We still have to have somebody do that mile section.
Well, we appreciate your time coming in here and explaining this to us. Now, when we have an opportunity to really read it through, I'll have a discussion about it.
I would ask that that be, between now and your next meeting, because otherwise you're significantly putting the current projects at risk. We've been having conversations, with the county for several months now, and what I don't wanna do is put these projects at risk to have them being moved out.
Just to
Right.
emphasize that, the sort of driving force again is that bridge project, and if for some reason that project needs to move, we can't guarantee funding beyond the current fiscal year where it's at, a lot of this becomes very muddy.
Did you say the design work for the current structure is done?
So we have the bridge project as designed, which again does not include the separated lane and the tunnel. But to include all that is a bit of an undertaking, so,
So you got, it's design work's done to put a bridge.
To
in.
NDOT standards, excluding, right, excluding, absolutely,
and
absolutely.
that design work to add in those features is, it's a process.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Just wanna make sure I understand the
Yep.
legal process.
Yeah, and already at a little bit of a point of jeopardy, and we feel confident we can make it happen, but it's, you know.
But we're concerned, because when we go to, the agency to ask for this additional funding to support a transfer like this, it's tied to a particular fiscal year. So if that has to move fiscal years, there's a chance that we could lose that funding, and that's what we don't wanna do. We really went through a lot of process. I sat in the chief financial officer's office downtown, to make sure that he agreed to this and that we could move forward with this.
Which also speaks to the July first
Yeah.
transfer deadline, that's our fiscal year.
So with the city of Delphi, has there been talks about this with your leadership? With the-
Only, top level, we don't have any draft agreement or anything. Ted, would you be willing to work with, the city attorney and
Sure,
so that?
We're talking about excluding, or not including, but the interlocal agreement would provide for what?
That was
Shared
first section.
maintenance, or what is the board desire? Shared
I don't wanna
maintenance?
maintain none of it, to be honest with you.
Pardon?
I don't think I wanna maintain none of it. I don't wanna maintain the bridge, I don't wanna maintain the tunnel.
I will say the bridge, from
Well, last,
a
yeah.
fiscal perspective, the funds to maintain that bridge through MVH will go to the county, it would not go to Delphi, even in an agreement. So let's be clear on that. So there would have to be an additional, portion of that agreement that says that if you're expecting Delphi to take care of the bridge as well, that you would provide them the funding that you get through MVH. Because MVH funding for bridges can only go to counties.
And like Bill said, the extra mile up to the county line, I mean, we still have to be there to plow.
Unless unless that becomes part of the agreement. And, if it's an extra mile and we're already out there, it makes sense for us to just do
Just to
it.
go up and turn around and come back, yeah.
So,
Everything's not followed up. The last one was.
Yeah. Well, I'd be on Tiffany County though. You just go to the top of the hill. That's some things we gotta get, I mean, like I say, I don't wanna be in the tunnel business, I don't want it to hurt the project for the trail either. But I don't think,
NDOT does not require the interlocal agreement to be complete for us to do our contract. So if you wanted to proceed with ours, and work on yours at the same time, NDOT does not have any hesitation.
like Bill said, you didn't have a chance to go through this, and I had a hard time reading it on my phone, so.
I read it.
Well, I'm glad to stay after the meeting, if you guys wanna go through it a little more slowly, paragraph by paragraph. That way you have somebody here. One of the reasons why we asked Nikki to be here and Adam and myself is because typically when you get into the agreement, some of the language you might question. And that way we're here to answer your questions today. So you tell us what you need from us and, we'll make that happen.
we have another meeting after this. So we have to meet again with you after that.
I can make myself available.
We have to continue this meeting over.
If that works for you guys, we're more than willing to give us a little corner to do work while you're in your next meeting, so we can do some of our stuff. And we're
There's
working
also
out.
there's also a meeting at 1 o'clock in here.
What's that?
There's also a meeting at 1 o'clock in here.
But if you only have like these areas down here, you could be done in 5-10 minutes, and you could have another half hour to visit with them. Take my seatbelt.
I'll get my seat.
Would that be okay or not?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just suggesting that.
It's just, that's a big concern on that. There's a big concern on the tunnel. I think that's a lot of liability.
Let's go on through the bottom part here of our agenda. Courthouse and ground usage application for the American Legion, post 75. It's observing Vietnam Veterans Day. I'd entertain a motion on it.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Was that for both? Or just the one?
That's the one. Take the other day. They work for the month, I think.
Oh, yeah. I have two of them.
One's March 29th, one's May 29th.
Oh, there it is.
Here you go, we got a American Legion Post 75, May 29th, Memorial Day holiday, observing Memorial Day. 30 anticipated people wanting to use the courthouse grounds. The check courthouse usage application, so
Yeah, they've okayed that with, Keith, I
You signed
believe
it.
Keith has signed that.
Motion to approve.
okay, a motion and a second, all in favor, please say aye. Motion passed. Delphi Main Street, supposed to use the courthouse grounds, an Easter egg hunt, so much fun. On 8 to noon, Saturday, April 1st.
And just to clarify, Commissioners, the Easter egg hunt will start at 10. And we'll also get our certificate of insurance, and I'll coordinate with the treasurer to get the deposit check to them. All right, thank you.
Motion to approve April 1st. I like that. You can run and pick up too.
You don't have less eggs this year?
More eggs.
More eggs.
More eggs, yes. We partnered, again, with St. Elizabeth Healthcare, and we've had quite a team assembled to fill eggs, so we'll have more eggs. And I believe there's also a DJ plant, so there'll be some music and,
Where'd you find all the plastic chicken?
in the plastic coop.
Yeah, you can't afford the real eggs.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second for the, April 1st, Saturday Easter egg hunt. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Now we got Delphi Main Street, May through October 1st and 3rd Saturday for Friday, for farmers market / I don't know what that says.
Do it in Delphi.
Do it in Delphi.
Yes. Do It Delphi will be on that third Saturday, farmer's market will be on the first and third.
I like the farmers market.
It'll be from 9 to 2 o'clock.
You guys just started out over here on the west side, next thing you know, you was on the north side, and now you're kinda creeping around. It's growing. I got a lot of people say they enjoyed it, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
Does that hurt downtown business, cut downtown business off?
Actually, they don't shut off the road.
Yes, the road's not shut off. We typically have done the courthouse side of the square, so it's basically just around the square.
In the parking spots.
No congestion?
No, we haven't observed anything. Certainly, we've been in close contact with businesses. In fact, some of those businesses are involved with our main street.
Cause when they come to the farmers market, they go, oh, look, let's walk over there. Look beside that.
If you know of any gardeners out there, we certainly wanna get some more produce for this market, so if you have any, please have them holler at the city building, or certainly have them get with Beth and have her let me know at farmer's market, and there'll be some artisans there also, some artisan booths, different items.
That's a pretty good food up
We involve the kids too.
there. Yeah, and the kids are involved, that's what's nice.
Yes, and the specific request is, as we done last year, we had a kid zone, develop that young entrepreneurial spirit. So we certainly would like to have that kid zone set up again on the grounds there at the gazebo for any youth that wanna bring something out. We had some last year that had some lemonade set up. We had some that brought some artwork they had done. And so we certainly would request that of the commissioners' authority to have a kid zone there at the gazebo.
Would you already make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second for May through October first and third Saturday farmer's market. Now, I have one question about that.
Yes, sir.
If I'm a farmer and I'm growing product, what do I do with my product that grows on the second, it's ready to market on the second Saturday?
Well, you try to get it, refrigerated or in some way, where you can be there on that first and third Saturday.
If you're a farmer, you gotta see your own market.
The only thing I see is.
You know, I mean, you got that source, you got other sources.
There's
For-
no,
sir.
they're not
They not
requesting
only do they
the,
have
Yeah.
to.
There's local
You're not
ones,
requesting
they're
the
not
rental.
local programs too.
Use
Might
that in the
ask them to make
courthouse.
sure.
I'm sure he's okay with it.
You're not requesting the courthouse to be open, right?
That we are not correcting that.
And just
I'm
make sure
sorry,
there's
not
no,
requesting that, that is correct.
Okay.
any signs that
I
are
also-
dug in the ground.
Absolutely, yes. No signs in the ground.
Okay, so I call for a vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then commissioners, if I may, since I'm here at the podium, on behalf of the city, can I go ahead and seek approval for the Christmas lights on the monument for this year for 2023?
I'll make a motion to say yes, but make sure you fill out the paper form so we can sign it.
Will do.
Maybe
We
we'll
have
email out.
forms too. Christmas lights on that monument.
All the applications filled out.
Okay. Will do.
So you second?
Yeah.
Okay, so a motion and a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Thank you, commissioners.
Did you aye?
Aye. Yeah.
Thank you. Appointment of Rock Creek Township Advisory Board.
Yes, we have had one person, and you should have a copy of her letter in there. I did check with the Rock Creek Township trustee, he knew she was applying for that, and he's willing to work with her, so.
Brenda Leonard?
I know where she is, that's about it.
I'll make a motion to appoint Brenda Leonard to that position. Rock Creek Township.
For the next, voters,
We have a,
decision.
we have a motion and a second to appoint Amanda Leonard to the Rock Creek Township Advisory Board. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passed. Mike Fincher, rules for use of annex building.
Good morning, gentlemen. Reason why I'm here is I had the comment reach out to me. They were looking to potentially use the annex building, for a debate. But I didn't have any rules or any agreements for having outside organizations.
Who said I didn't think we'd even have any?
Uh,
I mean, it's a nice building.
Right, and I didn't think about it when we bought it, so, should they decide to use it, I thought about just the same paperwork that we use for the courthouse. Making sure that they have the insurance and the, security deposit in that in case anything gets damaged.
The question is, do you want them in there?
I just have to stay. It's not a big deal.
But I know you got stuff in there that,
I've moved some of the stuff that needs to be secured into other rooms that can be locked up, but with me being there.
Are you getting any meetings from here being held down there?
Yeah, so the Emergency Management Advisory Council is being held down there, the 911 Advisory Board is being held down there, the LEPC is being held down there. Doug has held a rural trauma course down there, we're looking at doing a, what is it, emergency responder? First responder class being held down there. I've got the National Weather Service coming in on the 28th to do a weather spotter class. It's getting used
Good.
when, and the one thing I do have to look at is getting the old church pews out of there though.
yeah.
There's
How
there,
do you got any room in a barn to hold some church pews? two stock there pretty long. They need to go to county auction. Might just come.
You don't want the seating in there?
Made a conference room.
I've got I brought in some tables and seating for if we ever had to open up a UFC. And then I could keep a couple of them, but I've got some of them, you've seen them up, they're stacked up in the back there now. This doesn't look very professional.
We gotta find a place to put 'em.
Well, the only places we have would be the sheriff's, next to the ambulance garage.
I think that's full.
That's full.
Or the,
Carroll
Carroll Manor's barn out there, I don't know.
The last I checked, which was several years ago, that was full as well.
What's that?
That was full as well, several years ago. When I checked.
Yeah, it's a decent sized full barn. It should hold, how many you got, 6, 8?
I'd have to move probably 6 of them out, I'd keep 2, probably 2 or 3.
Pretty good size.
There's several of them down there.
I think you chop them up and just throw them away. But that's what we might have to do.
We might have to, because I've watched that kind of thing on Marketplace and like that.
They don't sell.
They're too big for, I mean, you're not gonna put them in your house, you know.
Yeah.
If I want to start a church, we can, sell these off.
Check with the churches.
I did check with a couple already, they didn't need.
You know what, there's just gonna be more of a pain than anything. I said, just go up and take a little transfer station. Just, you know, if anybody buys around, you'll give $1 or $2 for them, if that, at the auction. Then we still gotta deal with holding them and storing them, so I'll make a motion that we just get rid of them. They can see that, but,
I didn't do that.
cause if you
Are
store
they
them,
straight, or are they, or like they're not?
They're straight.
They're straight?
they're kinda angled, kinda.
No, when they were set in there, they're straight.
Yeah.
When they were in there, I pulled them from the
You want
floor.
some for your bonfire?
Or what,
Nah,
12
you
feet
know what?
long or something like that?
They're 16 foot, I think,
16
is
is
what
what
I'm ready
Up
for
and
that.
down, down, it seems like the impulse comes down.
Right. Cause if we store them somewhere, they're, you know, like we put them out there in the barn, it's just gravel. We go get,
They'll get more if it's not controlled.
Yeah, but you're probably right.
But the biggest immediate question is, what do we use for an application to use that
Right.
building?
Do you just want me to use the courthouse?
I can revamp this one and change it to the the annex building usage application.
Just make up one off of one.
the thing is though, I mean, you might get a ton of these. And you're gonna be sitting down there all the time.
I doubt that I'll get that many.
Okay.
They'll change the form.
Things going.
Or we'd have to look at, you know, what you do open it up to.
Seems like a great place to have a debate to me.
Well, what's the,
Let me just say, we've moved on from that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I've been busy this weekend.
No, that's fine, that's fine. I think the question is, do you want the public to use that building or not? Right now, it's
Public
being,
owns that building.
well, I know the public owns that building. But, you know, I think that would be, you know, whether or not, because, you know, Mike would have to be there.
Someone have to do it.
That's right, somebody would, and, right now, it just seems like law enforcement, county people are using it, for that kind of
what
thing.
my intention was for having a bigger meeting space for the county. You know, maybe debates, you know, you don't wanna have people coming in there having birthday parties in there, cause if you open it to the public, that's what's gonna happen.
So since she's not using it, can I-
Well, it's gotta be signed off on by somebody, just like our custodian has to sign off on.
I mean, what is the canal charge to use their place down there? Their
Do
big
you
ones.
really wanna know?
Huh?
Yeah,
About $400 to $500, $600. Depends on how much you use.
Right.
That's different.
I mean, it's just not like having a debate or coming in the courthouse, I mean, putting stuff in the yard or using the courthouse. I mean, that's something that's gotta be maintained and swept and cleaned and Mike's the janitor. He does it all down there.
I think there's a lot more.
Oh,
to it
and,
than-
I'm sorry,
In the corner.
in the corner. She just smells the place up.
Yeah.
I don't know,
What do you think?
I don't think we need to have stuff like that in there, cause there's just too much.
There's other places.
Right, I mean, you got radio equipment and, I mean, it's just, yeah.
There's community centers, that are different.
I mean, we can always make other exceptions, you know, like, you know, Mike says, hey, this group would really like to, but I don't know, I think we just got it just for our meeting rooms and stuff like that. Training,
That,
yeah.
you know, could very well be right, I seem to, either way seems all right to me.
I mean, it is the people's building, but
Well, we're not keeping them out, they're welcome to stop there, see the building,
right.
and do business there with these guys, but.
Well, it's like the auditor's office over here, is, people own it, but they can't have parties in there,
That's like
same
wanna work
thing,
with
I
us.
think.
Every Friday, I think we see them again.
That's why you want to stand this.
I think, we'll just table it and we'll have to have further discussion.
Okay, so further discussion on that. And then last thing, it's not on there, the Homeland Security grant did open up. That's one of the reimbursable grants that I can get. Priority, non-priority totals up to $300,000. The priority is capped at 150, non-priority is at 150. On the priority, I'm gonna go for some more courthouse security upgrades, including the museum doors. Non-priority, I'm gonna go for some more, countywide, physical security barriers and some other stuff. I just gotta see how it plays out.
Can some of that be used for like the radios too, that would be needing replaced in the future?
Radios are not on this one this year. And there's 4 national priorities, and cybersecurity is one of them, and I've already talked to Randy. We don't need anything on that. Intelligence sharing, and usually the State Fusion Center takes all that, and we usually do not mess with the intelligence part. Securing soft targets in the courthouse is considered, along with many other county.
Soft targets, I mean like vests and stuff for the.
No. There's a specific grant for the vest.
With the way this world's getting to be, I'd like to see our EMS, if they have to go into a certain situation, be vested.
They've got them already. Yeah, they're already, they've got some on, they're not fitted vests, but we got vests. It's more like, fencing barriers and that, like I bought before.
Okay.
And we're looking to expand on that. And, so those are the main priorities. So I gotta stay within those, and it's gotta be related to domestic and international terrorism. Yes, sir.
Other county business? Anybody have anything to bring up to us?
I did,
Yes, sir.
concerning I'm a trucker. I have a concern on the 25 project you've been talking about.
Going toward Lafayette?
State Route 25, North 25, who's gonna take it over?
We haven't decided yet.
I understand that. Whoever does, the city takes it over, puts in a culvert out there, walking tunnel. Year or two down the road, they decide there's too much truck traffic on that road. We're gonna close it off, like they did your town east. 2 years ago. What's gonna happen?
I think that's one of the dedicated truck routes we have in Carroll County coming from the stone quarry. There's way too much traffic on that for the
There
trucks.
Well, there was way too much traffic going through Delphi, straight through Delphi East. Years, forever, until they closed it off, the third intersection.
That was the city's issue.
That was the city.
Businesses.
That was the city. The city gonna take part of this road over, what's going, are they gonna decide to do the same thing?
And that'd be up to the city.
Yeah, what's gonna happen to the
If we
trucks?
decide to do this.
What's gonna happen to the trucks? That's my concern.
I will say the agreement right now that we're working on is between the county and NDOT, not the city.
Okay,
So it would be the county's, decision at that point.
And from the city's point of view, I can tell you at this point that we would like to see that become the truck route, the old State Road 25. So, you know, it's not gonna become less of a truck route, it's.
guaranteed.
Well, that is certainly, if you look at plans for the future, yes.
So why did you close the road off going
And
east?
that's off subject. You need to go to a city meeting for that, please.
To me, it's the same thing.
It is, unfortunately, it's not the same.
Could be the same thing.
Now, you'll need to go to a city on that. Right now, we're working on if we wanna even take it over. We haven't made a decision yet if we wanted to take it over. That's just more an expense on the county. Then if we do an inter-agreement with the city, and I know the city don't want more trucks in town unless it's just going to the business for deliveries, and they probably want to take all most of the trucks down that road. That would be part of the contract, I
What
guess.
about the trucks coming in from the east? Going all the way down to there? You don't care about the extra time and the mileage that the trucks have to do. You don't care about that.
Well, I say we care, but we also gotta protect the citizens.
I'm trying to figure this out here. Mr. Barr, are you concerned that, if the city might close that off from trucks, is that?
Yes.
I can't, that would ruin the stone quarry.
Yes.
I can't imagine if they'd wanna take a local business and do that to them.
Sure made a hardship on a lot of trucks when they closed the road going east through town.
Is that your hearing aid? Yeah, it's a little hearing aid. I think the battery died or something.
Be happy to talk to you about a council meeting if you would like to come to one of the city council meetings, Mr. Barr. We meet on the first Monday of the month at the community center at 6 o'clock p.m.
I think the city and us can have discussions about that, but I don't see that as being a real factor of that the city might close that road off, because it's just, I mean, you go out there now and look at it, it's just truck out through there, they gotta go somewhere, that's the route to go.
Get out of town, because you can't make that turn to town. Or stop there.
Thank you. Anybody else have something to bring up to us? Yes.
So many times today. I was surprised to see that Carroll Manor wasn't on the agenda today.
She left.
Well, but they may not have asked then, but Bill, you were at the meeting on Thursday when you heard that there is a money crunch out there. And a money crunch.
Yeah.
That, you know, the council gave the auditor authority to spend $20,000 extra in case she ran out of money before the next council meeting. And have you raised or looked at, I haven't heard you talk about the rates out there for a long time. I know, and somebody, I believe, the superintendent said that somebody came in the manor last week, and she was expecting another one this week, and there isn't anything on here for you guys approving anyone coming out there. And then there's this trip to South Bend to look at people who might come in who obviously are not county residents. So I just thought there would be some sort of conversation today, especially since the council is meeting at 1 o'clock today to talk about this. Got it.
She probably was just gonna be on the end of the agenda, but I think she got a phone call and had
That's
to
not
leave.
what we're meeting about.
What are we meeting about?
We're meeting about the salary ordinance for the prosecutor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got mixed up.
And I did, she called me, she had one that needed to be, I signed it, and I said, we need to bring in front of, to get him admitted.
I don't know why it's not here, the paperwork, she should have dropped it
I
off.
don't know why.
And she's still learning the process of it, and even Martha always had one of us sign, and we didn't get to see it until next meeting or meeting after.
We
What-
passed a rule on that any one of the three of us could sign it in
Right.
on an emergency basis.
So, and she said, and when I was out there, what was it, I went out there I think it was last Saturday. And, she said she had potential for a few more people coming in, so,
What